What's up, shit? Timmy's here. With Ryan Murphy having a new show this week called The Beauty, and he also has that American Love Story set to premiere next month, and he has some other stuff coming out here and there. I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Ryan Murphy projects. Now, he's done, films, he's done shows. I only have one film on this list, and the rest of it are mostly shows. Either they're miniseries or whatnot. The guy, I think, is really good. He definitely has some interesting hits on his belt. Not everything he does turns to gold, in my opinion. Or as fair is one of the worst things I have ever seen in recent years. But he has some other good stuff. So here is my official top 10 favorite Ryan Murphy projects. All right, number 10 is American Crime Story franchise. Now, of course, the first installment of American Crime Story revolved around the O.J. Simpson trial. Then the second one evolved about focus on Versace, the murder of Giovanni Versace. Then the third one evolved, Bill Clinton. And I think the best one out of those is probably the O.J. Simpson one. Cuba Gooding Jr. I thought was great. John Travolta, one of the last best thing he's done in recent years. David Schwimmer played Robert Kardashian. There's that. Makes sense why Rob Murphy has been working with Kim Kardashian in recent years. But I still thought Audrey season, like, I'm still really curious to see if we're gonna get another season, like what the next story is gonna be. But I still quite enjoy the American Crime Story franchise. They are pretty interesting. Really intriguing story arc there. Great, interesting true stories. Here, I mean, I just I don't know. I think Ryan Murphy definitely does these miniseries really well, and American Crime Story is a really good one. The Giovanni Versace one is really good too. You had Darren Criss was in that one as Andrew Conan, who of course took out Giovanni. Clive Owen was Bill Clinton in the third installment. Benny Felstein was also Monica Lewinsky as well. I mean, yeah, I really hope we get another one of those. All right, coming in at number 9 is 911. Now, of course, 911 is the procedural show following LA first responders, firefighters, paramedics, and obviously we've had seen other spin-offs here and there. We had Lone Star, we got Nashville, which is Nashville isn't so bad by the way. But 911, with Angela Bassett, Pierre Cruz, who obviously he's not in the new seasons for obvious reasons. Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's such a really interesting show. We'll see how seeing the stuff that paramedics and stuff and 911 responders had to go through here and there. It is a really intriguing show. I mean, the show premiered from 2018 and still going strong today. Now, at first it was on Fox, and then they canceled it from Fox and moved it to ABC. Now it's an ABC show, but I admit the last couple of seasons has lost a little steam. I admit, but I still quite enjoy the show so hardly, and it's a really interesting one if you guys have seen that. All right, number 8 is American Sports Story. I'm still really wondering if we're going to get another season of this, but of course, the first season of American Sports Story is an anthology series examining iconic scandals through the sports fame, media, and exploration. The first season revolved around the rise and fall of NFL star Aaron Hernandez. You had Patrick Schwarzenegger, who plays Tim Tebow. I mean, American Sports Story was terrific. It was actually in my top 10 favorite new shows of 2024. Great performances. Josh Rivera, who plays Aaron Hernandez, was great. Really interesting. Hard that stuff really happened here. Really intense at times. Great performances. If you guys haven't seen it, give it a go. But I'm really curious if we're going to get more seasons of this, but who knows? All right, number 7 is Ratchet. Now, Ratchet, of course, is imagining the origin story of Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest fame. And sadly, this only lasted one season. It premiered during the pandemic, and I really quite enjoyed the show. Sarah Paulson. While Louis Fletcher really embodied the Nurse Ratchet role perfectly in the Cuckoo's Nest film, man, Sarah Paulson was creepy throughout. She really She, of course, played the part very well. Great cast list by Finn Wittrock, Sharon Stone, Judy Davis, Cynthia Nixon, Alice Enger. The list goes on and on. Some great cast lists here. It is a shame that we still haven't gotten a second season. That's unfortunate. But if you guys have not seen Ratchet, do yourself a favor, go watch it. I think you can find it on Hulu now. Really good series there. All right, number 6 is Hollywood. The one that really put David Cornswell on the map before he played a little known character this past year called Superman. And Hollywood, I thought, was a really interesting story about reimagining the post World War II Hollywood, where organized artists attempts to break the studio system and rewrite industry's racist and homophobic rules here. Fun cast list, you got Samara Weaving popping up in this, Laura Harrer, Patti LuPone, Queen Latifah even pops up here. It's such a good cast list. Great performances throughout. It's such a really interesting series. I'm always a sucker for the golden age of Hollywood, and this really re-examines stuff during post World War I Hollywood, and of course it gave us David Cornsworth, who obviously plays Superman. So there's that. All right, number 5 is Scream Queens, a show I'm still disappointed did not didn't last too long. Scream Queens was a really interesting show. It premiered on Fox for 2 seasons for 2015, 2016. And it's where a sorority who becomes a target of a mass killer, blending slasher horror with razor-sharp satires. Of course, you got Emma Roberts, Abigail Breslin, Ariana Grande also popped up in this. Scream Queens I had a fun time with. I liked the cast of characters. You even had people like Glenn Powell, Nick Jonas popping up. Before this was actually before Glenn Powell became as big as he was today. Even Ariana Grande, she was still a singer at the time, but at the time we are always known her more as as Catherine Victorious at the time more than a singer. But yeah, Ariana Grande was great. Emma Roberts, top it off. It was also cool seeing Jamie Lee Curtis parry her her mom's iconic scene from Psycho. I always love that scene there. It's such a really good show. Even John Stamos pops up. He was really good. Really interesting series. You guys haven't seen it. There has been talks about possibly reviving it. Whether that happens, who knows? All right, number 4, the only film on this list, by the way. Now, he's actually directed a couple films, like he did The New Normal on HBO. He did Eat, Pray, Love, Running with Scissors. This is my favorite film he put out. That is The Prom. The Prom is, of course, based on the Broadway show where fading Broadway stars descend on a conservative Indiana town to support a lesbian teen who's bent for bringing her girlfriend to prom. And there, of course, the Broadway stars here are led by Meryl Streep, James Corden, Nicole Kidman, Andrew Rannells, Aaron Debos before she, of course, won her Oscar. It's such a really wonderful film. Great music throughout. Really great performances by James Corden, by Andrew Rannells, Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep's great in this one. The one who plays the mean kids are actually pretty decent too. If you guys haven't seen it, really good film there. This also got released during the pandemic too, so that's that. All right, number 3 is the Munster franchise. Now, of course, the first season of Munster was about Jeffrey Dahmer. The second season was, of course, about the Menendez brothers. And most recent, the third season, revolved around Ed Gein. Of course, the fourth season is supposed to have about Lizzie Borden, so there's that. But I have been really enjoying these Munsters series. I really quite like what Ryan Murphy was able to do with these shows were great. The performances from Evan Peters to Harvey Bardem to Charlie Hunnam has all been great. I cannot wait to see what the Lizzie Borden one's going to be. That should be interesting. Sarah Paulson is supposed to play Eileen Warners in that. That should be interesting to see. But yeah, if you guys have not seen the Munster franchise, highly recommend them. They're really interesting shows there. All right, number 2 is the American Horror Story franchise. I've been enjoying the American Horror Story franchise. I think they are pretty decent. I admit the Kardashian one wasn't so great. They could be hit and miss once in a while. Like we do got a new season coming out, and maybe when that season comes out, I will probably do my ranking of the American Horror Story franchise. So keep your eye out for that. But all of them has been pretty interesting. Really intriguing tone here from the Asylum to from haunted houses to asylums to witches to cults here and there. It's such a really interesting show. Like great cast lists, like from Sarah Paulson to Evan Peters, Angela Bassett, Emma Roberts. Some great, interesting cast lists here and there. If you guys haven't seen the American Horror Story franchise, this show has been going around since 2011 and it's still going strong today. The next one, by the way, is supposed to have Ariana Grande in that one, so that should be interesting to see. But yeah, the American Horror Story franchise are pretty cool. Roanoke is probably one of my top tier favorite ones there. All right, and my number one favorite Ryan Murphy project probably is gonna sour people the same way, but I really quite enjoy the show, and that is Glee. I enjoy Glee. I really quite like the cast of characters. Of course, Corey Monteith as the late Finn Hudson was great. Leah Michelle as Rachel. Matthew Morrison. Jane Lynch as Sue Sylvester, who is hilarious at times. She is very mean and stuff here and there, but you know what? I just adore this character. She just plays the mean part very well. She is very fierce as a character. Love the music. And sadly, we did lost a couple of actors in this, from Corey Monteith to Naya Rivera. I can't really say the other guy. Mark Salas, I think. I can't really, because he got arrested for some not so good stuff, so I can't really talk about him there. But hey, Naya Rivera, Corey Monteith, RIP to them both. I love the music they always included. Like just seeing some classic music in this, was really cool. It's such a really, I just love Glee. It of course last aired from like 2009 to 2015, and again since then we still lost a lot of tragedies here, but yeah, Glee is to me it's the best thing Ryan Murphy put. I feel like this is actually the one that really put him on the map for most people as a TV career. But it's such a good one if you guys haven't seen it. But that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, American Crime Story. Number 9 is 911. 8, American Sports Story. 7, Ratchet. 6, Hollywood. 5, Scream Queens. 4, The Prom. 3, the Munster franchise. 2, the American Horror Story franchise. And number 1 is Glee. Now, a couple of other ones I could have included. Nip Tuck. Feud was pretty decent. Pose was pretty good. Definitely that Groscare wasn't so great. The one with Nixon Ash, that was pretty disappointing. The Watcher was actually a pretty good one with Naomi Watts and Bobby Cannavale. The Politician was okay, which also had David Cornsworth. Houston with Ewan McGregor was a pretty good one. American Horror Story is another good one. On the film front, I could have also included The Boy in the Band that he produced with Jim Parsons. I could have included some others like trying to remember. Writing with Scissors, The New Normal's another good one. He's done some really good stuff there. But let me ask you guys. What are some of your favorite Ryan Murphy projects? Draw comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is him signing out.